If you're looking to make passive income with decentralized finance, then this video is perfect for you. So if you don't know what liquidity providing is or the business of liquidity mining, I'm going to show you quickly. So if someone were to go to Uniswap or a different decentralized exchange and exchange assets, so say someone wanted to exchange 2 Ethereum for AV. Now when that transaction goes through, there would be fees. In this case, it's saying there'd be $13 in fees. Now in order for this trade to be executed, there has to be liquidity in these assets on the decentralized exchange. So if you as a liquidity provider are providing liquidity into these assets, one, you're helping the decentralized exchange because you are the reason why this trade can take place, and two, you're helping the trader because the trader is actually able to make the trade and have a successful trade. So it's a win for the trader, it's a win for the decentralized exchange, and guess what? It's a win for you because you as the liquidity provider can get a percentage of the fees that the trader pays. So according to DeFi Llama, the total value locked in decentralized finance right now is 90 billion. And if you go to the yield section on the left, you can go to pools and see the different liquidity pool opportunities there are out there. Now on DeFi Llama and most websites, you can't do very deep research into these pools and you can't simulate the returns that you'd get by taking on exposure to certain assets. Now that is where metrics.finance comes into play. So this is a very helpful software for liquidity providing, definitely the best out there. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the website and launch the app. Now I do have the pro version, but some of the things in this video that I show you are going to be accessible with the free version. So first of all, I'm going to go to the discover page and I'm going to go ahead and set up some filters. So for fees APR, I'm going to look at things that have higher than a 15% APR. And for the TVL, I'm going to go ahead and click this little filter button next to TVL and set it to 1,500,000 like this. So now we're only looking at pools that have a minimum total value locked of 1,500,000. So now we have 187 pools to go through. Now, since we're sorting by TVL right here, we can go ahead and see the pools that have highest TVL first, which typically mean more consistent returns. So I'm going to start from the top. Now we have Ethereum to USDC over on Uniswap. It says it's doing about 20% APR. And now guys, if you see the fees APR is at about 20% right here, don't be alarmed. It can be much higher. When we actually go to simulate the returns and squeeze the ranges tighter, the APR can drastically go up. So let's go ahead and hit the simulate button right here and open the simulate page for this pool. I'm going to set my deposit amount to $10,000 as if I were to deposit $10,000 into this pool. So right now we're seeing charts with data from the past 30 days. If we go ahead and change this calculation range, we can go back farther and see further data. So I'm hoping to get the most accurate simulation. So I'm going to set the calculation range to 14 days. So we have really recent data to work with. So I'm going to change my min price, move it down to about 2,221, and my max price, I'm going to put it at about 2,921. Now, right off the bat, it says I'd be getting about 33% APR. So with $10,000 invested, I'd be getting about $3,265 per year, according to the simulation. Now, this is a pretty tight range. So if I were to invest in this pool with this range, then I may need to make some adjustments to my position pretty frequently, but nonetheless, it's pretty solid. Now, keep in mind that there are risks to investing in decentralized finance, such as divergence loss, and in no way am I a financial advisor. I'm not telling you what you should or shouldn't do with your money. I'm just telling you my opinion on decentralized finance. So anyways, from here, I would want to do more due diligence into these assets to see if I'd want to take on exposure to USDC and Ethereum. And if I did, if this was looking solid to me, I would go ahead and save it to my portfolio. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, save it to my portfolio right here, since this pool is looking pretty solid. We can take a look at some other pools. Now, for those of you who are bullish on Bitcoin, this one might interest you. USDC to wrapped Bitcoin. Now it's on Uniswap and only doing about 17% APR, but if you're bullish on these assets, it could be a good opportunity for you. So we can go ahead and simulate it. Now, if we were to deposit $10,000, these are the returns that we'd get right off the bat, according to the simulation. So I'm going to go ahead and change my max price a bit. I'm going to change my min price, make this range tighter, and we're getting about 27, almost 20% APR. I'm going to change my calculation range to last 14 days so we get some more accurate data. And look, it's still almost about 25% APR, so that's solid. Now, keep in mind, if we move the max price up, we're taking on more exposure to USDC. You can see that here. And we're taking on less exposure to wrapped Bitcoin. But if we move the min price down, you can see we're taking on more exposure to wrapped Bitcoin and less exposure to USDC. And by watching this channel, you can claim a free 30 days of the pro version of Metrics Finance. So I'm going to leave a link to that down below so you can try it out. It's an amazing software. So now I would want to do more advanced due diligence on these assets. And if I were to want to enter this pool, I would save it to my portfolio. And this one is looking solid as well. So I'm going to save it to my portfolio. Now keep in mind, there are going to be pools like Wrapped ETH to Turbo with 300% APR and Wrapped ETH to Pepe with 71% APR. And a lot of these are going to include meme coins that, in my opinion, probably aren't going to have very consistent returns over the long run. A great way you can tell is if it's a meme coin is if they have like some really strange like cat or animal profile picture. See here for the coin, you can see that there's like a frog for Pepe, and then here there's some animal for Turbo. So I would just not even click on those, look at them. Obviously the APR can look very enticing, but I would just stay away from those. So here we have wrapped Ethereum to Uni over on the Uniswap platform. And if you don't know, Uni is Uniswap's token. So we can go ahead and go over to simulate these returns. Now I'm going to change my deposit amount to, again, $10,000. And right off the bat, if we were to deposit $10,000, it's saying we'd be getting almost $3,700 per year APR. And we can go ahead and change our calculation range to look at different data. I'm going to go ahead and tighten my min price here. And we're looking at about 41% APR off the bat. So that's great. Again, there are risks associated investing into these tokens. You'd want to make sure you're bullish on them. And scrolling down, you can see more information about the pool and the assets. And the correlation means when it says 0.59, that means that 59% is the correlation rate of these assets to each other. You can also see the volume history. This pool has had pretty consistent volume history, even though on October 10th, it shot up to 13 mil. Overall, in the past about 30 days, it's been pretty consistent. Real quick, I want to show you something amazing that we launched, and it's called DeFi Elite Suite, and it's where the best liquidity providing software meets the best DeFi community. Our goal with DeFi Elite Suite is to help you overcome divergence loss, understand complex DeFi analytics, and how to make your passive income more passive. And of course, we want to help you become profitable with liquidity pools if you are not already. DeFi Elite Suite is your all-in-one solution, and here's exactly what you'll get. You'll get access to the pro version of Metrics Finance, which is the software I've showed in this video. You'll also get access to the DeFi Excel community, as well as a private onboarding session where we'll walk you through how to use Metrics Finance. We're also giving away an exclusive DeFi Elite Starter Guide, which is something we have not given away before. Metrics Pro is usually $480 a year, and DeFi Excel is usually $360 a year. And you can get Metrics Pro and DeFi Excel along with the one-on-one onboarding session and the exclusive DeFi Elite Starter Guide for $500 a year. This is a great bundle offer going on, so you can go ahead and lock in this price at $500 a year. I'll leave a link to this down in the description down below. You should definitely check it out. Now back to the video. Now once you have some pools saved to your portfolio, you can go to the build section right up here, and from here you can see a more zoomed out version of your simulated portfolio. So you can see that we simulated $20,000 of a deposit amount. And with these pools right here that I have, we'd be getting about 28% yearly APR, which would be $5,606.63. And our estimated earnings per 24 hours would be about $15.36. And if you did the due diligence on these pools and wanted to go ahead and take on exposure to them, you would go to Uniswap, since these pools you can see are hosted on Uniswap, and you could go ahead and take on exposure to them. Anyways, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell to turn on post notifications so you can stay up to date with decentralized finance. Anyways, have a good one.